What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello.
What's up, everybody? How we doing? Hope we're doing good on the stream. Hope you're having a good day. It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day.
That's right. This is a Real Talk with Real DJs. My name is DJ Pac-Man. I'm going to be your host for today. We'll say thank you so much for tuning in. Before we get started with our very, very special guest, our VIP in the building, I got to give a big shout out to our sponsors today. So, I want to say thank you so much to Orbit Event Rentals. Gotta start with the place that's letting us make this happen. They're the place that we are at right now. Big shout out Orbit Event Rentals. If you need tables, chairs, canopies, anything rentals, corporate parties, anything you need, orbiteventrentals.com. Check them out. Next up, we gotta thank Montlake Construction. Montlake Construction hooks it up with the water. And they hook it up with some amazing, amazing work. If you need a bathroom remodel, kitchen remodel, home renovation, ADUs, whatever you need, hit up montlakeconstruction.com. Last but not least, I want to say thank you to the Empress LA for sponsoring the show. The EmpressLA.com, they are your aesthetics place. If you are into beauty, you want to make yourself look beautiful, you want to enhance your features, whatever it is that you want to do to make yourself look amazing, they got you at the EmpressLA.com. So big shout out to them. Let's go ahead and get it started. Today we have a very special guest, a very good friend of mine. We have DJ Loudahh in the building.
What's up, you guys? Hey, what's up? Cheers to everybody out there. Thank you. Once again, this is just Coca-Cola in the cup. So
I got water here, so. Cheers to you, man.
Oh, good.
I gotta say, you're gonna start us off with something. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. So I just thought it'd be kind of funny just to start out with a random fortune cookie that was given again through Panda. This says you will be rewarded for your patience and understanding. Literally just popped it open right now. I did not expect it. This is just off the script. Just want to say we can all use a little bit of that today. So a little patience and understanding and goes a long way. So
hey, with everything that's going on.
Exactly.
100%.
Again, the cookies just know sometimes. So.
Yeah. Now here you go. Have you ever heard of that game to do with fortune cookies?
No, what game?
No? Okay, so if you're on a date and you take a girl out to an Asian food place, right? And they give you a fortune cookie, so you have to. Let's say it's a first date. You make this a fun game. You open up the fortune cookies and then you say, "Okay, we're gonna add in bed." After you read the fortune cookie.
Okay, hold on.
So you got to read that and
then
say in bed.
Now I know what you're talking about. Okay. You will be rewarded for your patience and understanding in bed. I see.
There you go. Hey, so be patient and understanding.
I don't think I can, but...
Hey. All right, Loudahh. So, as you know, this is Real Talk with Real DJs. I consider you one of the elite DJs. You are an elite DJ in the company for us. And you made that happen through patience and understanding. Hey, you made that happen through hard work, through showing your talent, and through just being a very responsible person. But before all that, there was Loudahh, the little Loudahh, that got to today. Yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about the journey.
Oh, dude. Okay. I'll try to make it as good as possible here. Basically, the journey started just as a kid. Just like most people, just started out just hearing music. Heard EDM in the early 2010s, I would say, kind of when it was starting to get popular, I guess you could say. But my mom was honestly a bigger influence on that side of things. So she played a lot of 80s music, so I would hear a lot of freestyle, break, things like that. So I got more intrigued in music, and that's essentially where it started. It started out from just kind of hearing her music and then her other sister's music. So everyone had a different style of music for every person. So
yeah.
So I learned a lot from there, and then moving forward. They helped me get my first board, my mom that is, and my stepdad, they got me my first board. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it was a little controller. Started out with that one. Started doing little parties at first, little house parties. And then after the house parties, kind of started doing, bigger things, like little more bigger house parties at this point. And then didn't start getting paid really for it until, I'd probably say like the last 7 or 8 years, more or less on that side, so... But I would say I've done this for about 16 years. So whoa. I'm 31 right now, so... Yeah. Yeah, so... No, for sure, literally half my life has been given to this.
That's amazing, bro. I think that's, first and foremost, I think a big shout out to parents, right? Big shout out to parents who understand music. right? Who have appreciation for music, because not all parents are like that. You know, when parents hear DJ, like their immediate thought is you know drugs, alcohol, girls. Like that's I'm not gonna support you. Like I'm definitely not going to support that lifestyle. So they kind of turn you away from it. Like they stay in school, etc., etc. But what they don't understand, what parents don't understand, is there's school for DJing. Like it's not a yeah. Obviously, you could pick up a controller and you know just start on your own. But if you want to get good at it, it takes a lot of education and it takes a lot of practice, a lot of you know.
I'll say this that going into different clubs, different scenes, things like that, learning different boards really does help. Just because you start to learn the different challenges that you have to face. You know, whether it's people coming up to you for a request or it's just hey the board malfunction, you have to use one side, things like that. I'll never forget that. You know, so things like that. You know, just with every trial and error, there's a lesson behind it. So then, you know, once you take in those lessons, you kind of redirect it to how you can, you know, put it into your DJing or whatever it is. You know, if you go through something once and you know, kind of learn from that and go on from there. So
no, absolutely, and that's you know going back to the parent thing. It's like a lot of parents don't get that. You know, they don't get that. And you went to music school. You got your bachelor's.
Yeah, so kind of touching back a little bit. So once I got into more in the DJ part of it, my mom actually got me a keyboard. So she's like, hey, if you're gonna learn how to DJ, you should learn how to at least know the keys.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Again, yeah. So she had a lot of the influence on there. So, but yeah, so I got the keyboard. Took a couple classes as well at in college. Started at COC. Then from COC went to Pasadena City College. Kind of flip flop between those two for a little bit and realized
what's COC? Sorry.
College of the Canyon, Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went there for a little bit, and then PCC is Pasadena City College.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, kind of flip flop between the two. After that, I then went, you know, looking like, okay, where can I go? Then my mom mentioned LA Film School, so then I went to LA Film School. This was during COVID, and took a couple classes online. Got my associates through music production, and then my bachelor's degree in sound engineering. There we go.
Bro, freaking big shout out to you, man. No.
It's a lot.
And several of the DJs here, you know, have gone to school for it, and I praise them so much, you know, because once again, it's not just about the parties. Yeah, a party's a big element of DJing, but it's not. It could get out of hand so fast, right? You know, alcohol is at every event you are at.
Literally.
You could let that just get out of hand so quickly, you know. But if you really want to make a career out of it and you really want to get serious with it, you take the discipline approach, you know. And yeah, man. So big props to you. And discipline is learning. You know, learning is a big part of it. 100%. And you're still learning.
100%. I mean, like I said, I'm only 31. I mean, like I said, like 15, 16 of my years, it's just been the DJing and just dedicated to music and just kind of learning it and meeting people along the way. You know, I have met a lot of artists, which, you know, we'll get to that I believe in a little bit here. So, but, you know, shout out to a lot of the artists like Sasha, Emilion, a few other people. We got some people coming up. So
for sure, yeah, 100%. So okay, but let's go way back. Little Danny. Oh okay. Shoot, can I say your name?
I mean, well, yeah. Danny Loudahh, sure, that's fine.
Little Danny. What was Little Danny like? What you know, 10 years old and up, like.
I was mostly playing soccer at that time. I was really athletic. I was the kid that used to run around a lot, and I still am that grown-up kid that just runs around a lot. So. I think that's definitely carried over up until this point. You know, I don't think I've ever stopped running. It's kind of like Forrest Gump, if you think about it. You know, run, Forrest, run. So
yeah, do you run marathons or anything like that?
When I was younger, yeah. When I was running, I was doing. I wasn't in track, but at one point I was contacted by a coach during middle school. I think it was. Wasn't anything crazy, but it was in middle school. They're like, "Hey, can you do this run?" I'll never forget when I ate a sandwich. And then I didn't know at the time that not to eat before you run. Right. Cramped up. Let's just say I didn't get the top 10. So.
Oh man, for sure. Okay. So, no, that's cool. That's cool, man. Okay, so now in the DJ career that you have built, talk to me a little bit about the shows that you've done, a little bit about the work that you've done. Like, what's the most exciting moment for you?
Ooh, that's a great question. So there's been a lot. I will definitely say that the ones in the clubs where I really first started at was at Los Globos. So shout out to them. I really just started there, and then really got a taste of the club scene there, and then started moving around. Went to Pasadena. I can't remember the name of the club right now, but it's somewhere by or Area 50. I can't remember the name right now, but it's somewhere over there. Yeah, each location has its own. But honestly, I think the house parties are better. I think more the intimate moments are better because everyone kind of knows each other. It's less arguments and fights, things like that. So at a club, it's just a bunch of different random people, kind of in one place. We're all there for the music. We're all there for the drinking, things like that. But
Do you think that's different in EDM clubs versus hip hop Latin clubs? Like I feel like more.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in hip hop and Latin clubs, it's more. It could be more aggressive. Like people fight more. There's a lot more brawls. In EDM, it's usually more peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just saying that from my experience. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put anybody down, but that's just the experience I've had. You think that's true? Or?
I'll say this: it's actually just on the person's intake, right? If someone drinks too much, someone takes a lot of pills, or whatever they're on, that falls on the individual that's going through that through that moment in time.
Okay.
So I really don't think the music, I don't think will make that much of a difference. It really just falls on the person. Again, how much they want to intake, whether they know they can handle 2 shots, 3 shots, 5 shots, whatever, pills, whatever that might be. You know what it is? So.
Just kind of like the person keeping control of themselves.
Basically.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. Okay, and I know for a fact that you, if it's okay that I share this, I know you do some producing.
Yeah, I do a little bit of that as well.
Was that like the next step, or you were always interested in that?
Always interested in that, actually. So my path, at least as far as where I want to be in, is more of like the DJ Snake, DJ Mustard, those guys of the world where there's a lot of the hip hop, there's a lot of the reggaeton beats out there now, a lot of Latin beats and things like that on the spectrum. I feel like that's kind of where we're going, but honestly, it's more just being able to DJ and then producing and then kind of hearing your music back when you have an artist on there is like the most coolest feeling ever, so I do have a couple songs. I do have it on my Spotify. I do have it also linked up with one of my buddies named Brother Wilson.
Okay.
Dude can really spit, so check him out. So everybody out there, check out Brother Wilson, Brutha Wilson, and we produced that EP a couple years ago, honestly. Check it out. I mean, it's all lo-fi. It's all the music is produced by myself, and then him, and there's another artist on there too. So go ahead and check it out. So
it's funny that you mentioned that because for a long time I thought rap was dying. Mm-hmm. I really did. I was like, they're all just talking about drugs. Mm-hmm. They're all just talking about girls. They're all just talking about the cars, etc., etc. And I wasn't. I reintroduced myself into rap when Kendrick Lamar came in the scene, and he kind of started telling stories again.
100%.
And then once I did that, I was like, okay, let me go into the underground rap scene. And oh my god, bro, like there's some really good. There's talent. There's still talent out there.
100%.
I think the people who have gone mainstream and are popular, I think they're. This might sound bad. I hope it doesn't, but I think they're kind of on their way out because I feel like new talent is emerging, and Kendrick Lamar, I feel like it's kind of like leading the way.
I mean, I'll say this: it's always it falls on popularity, right? Like the next big popular, whatever that might be, next beat, next whatever. I mean, lately it's kind of been a mixture of rap, yes. And then a lot of, I would say, I call it meme music. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, you go on TikTok, you kind of hear like something. Some places that want to.
Those things go off.
Apparently, so.
Yeah. Bro.
You know. Yeah. I play some of them every once in a while. Like I do have a Don Dirty has got a song. I'll play it on my mix. You guys will kind of hear it. So, yeah.
For sure. Okay. Big shout out to Don Dirty.
Shout out to Don.
And yeah, man, I think it's kind of interesting, right? Because we live in a different world, right? We live in a world where a thing that you might not think it's popular, it becomes super popular and it just blows up.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did that happen? And then you start wondering and you start like, oh, like wait, what did that person do? But they did nothing. So people just like, you know what I think it is? I think people like authenticity.
I think that's a good point because I mean, if you guys know out there, to my people in the early 2000s who know this one, and maybe you know the song as well. Have you ever heard that song? What does the fox say?
Oh yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? So it's like that. It came and went You know what I mean? It was just something like, I guess it was unique in its own way. And it just kind of came and went.
I think it blew up because it was so outrageous.
Exactly. It was just one of those songs.
Yeah.
You know? But you can think of like a timeless song, like you think of Daft Punk or like, you know, Calabria or things like that. You know, there's so many songs that are just in its own way of keeping that popularity going.
Yeah.
You know? So,
no, 100%, bro, 100%.
Yeah.
And what do you like to produce? What's your...
Ooh, what do I like to produce? As far as my production currently, it's still lo-fi. I would still say it's hip-hop for sure. Honestly, I'm just like, I'm open. I'm open to anything, honestly. I'm not shy to try any genres, you know. So if I gotta do rock, I'll do rock. There is one song that we're working on. My buddy and Mark and I were working on a while back. So shout out to Mark, aka Activist. So you know, so we got that hopefully on the way soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, there's been a lot of projects that's kind of been in the works. So
does your ethnicity have anything to do with it, or you just kind of like what you like?
I think it's more of like what I like, but if it sounds good, I want to see what I can put into it as well. You know what I mean? So if let's just say like you made a drum beat and then I can make the chords, and then Randy makes you know, the snare, you know, whatever. Like he can put in his piece, and you know, all of us work together, and that's like a unity in that beat. You know what I mean? In that song in itself. So,
bro, that's the beauty of music. Mm-hmm. Music is a universal language, right? And anybody could add something to it, and I freaking love music, man, bro. Like honestly, like I love music so much because you could go. You could go to Russia and just enjoy the same song with a person who's from there.
100%. Yeah.
You know, and same thing. You could go to, I don't know, someone in Antarctica. You know, one of the scientists there. You know, that they might just listen to the same music, and it's just like, bro, like, we don't talk the same language, but we understand this song. You know, we both love this song. So
I played songs at like weddings and at the mall, things like that, and people just vibe to the music. I kind of just see them, you know, vibing out to it. They never heard the song before, and they come up to me and ask, "Hey, who is this?" You know what I mean? And they've never heard like a Stevie Wonder or like, you know, certain songs that they just never heard before. You know? So, and that's what I feel like to me what DJing is too, is kind of introducing the music to other people who never heard something different. You know what I mean? If they haven't, you know, experienced that moment. So you know, there's so much music, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure, man, for sure. And okay, so what's next for Loudahh? What's the plan? Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years. So right now, let's see, 31. I'll be 41 at that time. Honestly, it's crazy how time flies. One day you're in your early 20s. Next year, 31. So
40 years old, bro. 40 years old. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
why you guys say it like that?
But I mean, I'll say this. You know, in 10 years, you know, I really do hope to grow famous as well. You know, along with myself. So that's something that I want to do. It's not just do this thing for myself, as other people that along the way, along the journey that I've met that have there's so many windows and opportunities. So for me, I would just say it's creating more opportunities, and hopefully those opportunities can help open other doors for those people. You know what I mean? Whether that's for 100%. Famous, other people that just want to get into music, whatever that might be, things like that. And then of course, you know, family, house, all that good stuff. So
yeah,
you know?
yeah, man. And you can make a life out of this. You know,
yeah,
like
of course.
You look at big names and you're like, I could do that. You know? And that's honestly, like, for those who don't know, the company name is Famous DJ Agency, and we chose Famous DJ Agency because number one, every DJ wants to be famous. Yes.
True.
Number two, it's because it embodies a lifestyle, right? Like this is possible. Like I think it's so possible, and I think it's so. If you do it the right way, and if you don't do it in a way of like, oh, I'm just in it for the money, the money will come.
Yeah.
The money will come. The resources will come. You will be able to live your life as a DJ, but if you do it with authenticity, in my opinion, right?
Right.
I did have a question for you.
Yeah.
In regards to your the shows you put on, or the shows that you've played at, what's been your favorite?
What's been my favorite so far? I would have to say with Tommy Sue. Shout out to Tommy Sue. He's got some crazy stuff going on. So if y'all haven't heard about Tommy Sue, look out for him. Hopefully he comes on this show pretty soon too.
Ooh.
But yeah, but
hey, I'm calling him out. I'm calling him out right now. Tommy Sue.
Tommy Sue.
If you're watching, you're gonna be here. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Tommy Sue, you know what to do.
Let's go.
But yeah, with Tommy, I mean, anything with Tommy's events, you know, it's a lot of the learning and, you know, honestly, he's the one of the reasons why I like working with artists a lot more, because it's just everyone has that experience from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're an artist and someone else is an artist, everyone can just collab and just get together and just vibe, and then that vibe can create into something else. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, like I said, as far as the favorite events, I would say anything with Tommy. I mean, even that beach event that just happened recently, the one on this past Saturday, that was fun too.
Yeah, bro, sure.
Honestly, every event is just a new experience.
100%, man. Yeah, and that's the other part I think about being a DJ. That's amazing. Like, you get to witness and experience so many different places, so many different things. You know. How many venues have you been to? I bet you don't remember. Can you count them?
I can't remember the names, but if I were to like Google search them, I'm sure I can. I'll be like, oh yeah, I've been there and I've been there. I've probably been in a total of. I've been up and down like just Southern California. I do want to expand to like San Francisco and things like that. Furthest I've been so far is San Diego, and that was for a buddy of mine who. Had me go down there and DJ San Diego for New Year's Eve. It was good. Right there in the Gaslamp district, in the Gaslamp.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
yeah,
that's fun.
First time in Gaslamp. First time in San Diego.
Was that Shaggy?
Yeah, Shaggy.
Big shout out to Shaggy. Yeah,
shout out Shaggy. There's a lot of shout outs today.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Shaggy. He got me the gig over there in San Diego. So like I said, first time in Gaslamp, all that good stuff. First time I've been in San Diego in like a long time too. So it was nice to be over there. So
bro, yeah, no, for sure, man. And that's the beauty of it, right? You get to travel, you get to make money, you get to live your life. Here's a personal question. Do you mind?
By all means.
Okay. How do you balance? Because I know you're in a relationship.
100%.
How do you balance the artist life and being in a relationship?
Literally, straight up, number one answer is communication. I literally bring that up every time her and I talk together, so it's always communication. So, you know, I let her know, like, hey, I'm going to this gig, things like that. There's a lot of craziness going on, too, so it's just, you know, I'm letting her know that, like, there's you know, I'm safe, hey, are you safe, you know, things like that. I always ask the simple questions, like, hey, how's it going, things like that. Just to check up on her, you know what I mean, mental health, things like that. Yeah. And then she does the same for me, you know, how are you, what are you up to, about, you know, the typical questions. But by the end of the day, like I said, it's just mostly communication. If you're not communicating with your partner, then that you're disconnecting. You know, like if you try to connect your Wi-Fi, or I'm sorry, if you're trying to get to the internet and you're trying to watch something on YouTube or whatever, you can't get there without connection, right? So you gotta connect the two together before you can actually make something happen. So, you know.
Hey, fair enough. I like the analogy. Yeah, for sure. No, cool, man. No, I agree. You know, I 100% agree. I think.
Yeah, communication.
Is it tough though? Is it in the DJ world? Is it tough to be in a relationship?
At first it was just because, you know, I would let her know too, like if it's anything to do with contacting anybody, or if I'm in contact with somebody, you know, or if they contacted me, like, hey, like where's the parties at, whatever, you know, it's just all strictly work, no matter what it is, you know what I mean? So a lot of times, and there's a reason why she's on my phone, I'm not gonna show her, but you know, there's a reason why she's there, things like that, and we've been together for almost 3 years going this year, so you know, so definitely 100% committed with her. But like I said, it's just a matter of just communicating that first. Like, hey, first of all, like, DJ, are you going to be okay with girls being around? Obviously, I'm not going to have nothing to do with them. Things like that. And then, you know, that's basically what it is. So
I want to say the first thing you said, like, it's one of the reasons why most of my relationships have, like, not been effective and have not gone the distance is because it's lack of communication. And it's, you know, I'm always on my phone. I'm always on my phone because, you know, being an entrepreneur or being a DJ, which means you're an entrepreneur, right? Your phone is your life, man. It's
literally.
Yeah, I gotta answer this phone call. I gotta answer this text. There's this gig coming up. There's this opportunity coming up. You're just always on your phone. I always wonder, and you tell me, is is this a life that's just meant either to be single, number one, or to be with someone that just really understands it?
Well, that's a great question. I would say it's someone that really understands it, because there's a lot of times where, whether it's, let's say she was the DJ and then I wasn't DJing, right? I have to understand and realize, like, she's gonna be, eyed by people, whether it's men, women, whoever that's gonna be. So I have to understand and respect that it's part of the job. You know what I mean? It's just part of the work that's there.
Yeah.
So. And that goes for anything, right? Like, you can work at In-N-Out, you can work at any other place. It's how you hold yourself and how you hold yourself accountable for whatever is going on.
That is 100% true. You're gonna be around people all the time, no matter what, right? No matter what you do, even if you work in an office environment, you're gonna be around people in the office. So I totally get that, man.
It's really just accountability, and like I said, just be ready to Just gotta be ready for, like, what's at hand and who's in front of you and how to again. It's kind of handling the situation, because, like I said, I've had when we were in San Diego, and she'll tell you later too. But literally, when we were in San Diego, there were girls trying to come up to me at that time, and it was one of the few times that she goes with me to the club. And she saw the girls trying to come up and talk to me, and there was literally the best moment ever. The fog machine was right there, and she hit that fog machine. She's like, "Oops." I can't make this up. She literally hit that fog machine, and she was just like, just get away. So, and I was just like, that was awesome. I'm just there DJing. I'm like, that's fucking cool, so.
It's funny you say that, because people think that us DJs want all the girls, right?
Yeah.
No, we want to mix.
100%.
Stay away, talk to me after the show, sure, whatever, But we want to mix, and we're concentrated in what we're doing, and we don't want the distractions, because we want to kill it. Like, that's
literally
our first priority is this.
My priority is to make everyone's butt shaking. Like, literally, everybody from men, women, the bartenders, if they're chefs, whoever. I want everybody to dance, because that's that moment to really just create it for everybody. I want everyone to remember that specific moment. Again, that's what I feel like my job is, to make everyone remember this moment, no matter what it is. Whether it's good or the bad, it's gonna happen. So
100%, man, 100%. No, I agree with that. Okay, so time for the funny questions. Let's see.
Okay, for sure.
You tell me. This is a scenario that's gonna play out, right? We're gonna play it out in this show.
Okay, sorry, the drink's hitting now, so.
Cheers.
I mean the.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Coca-Cola.
Okay. Aliens abduct you.
Okay.
You're abducted by aliens. They take you to their planet. For some reason, you have your hard drive, you have your laptop, and they have equipment. Okay. For whatever reason.
That'd be cool.
Right?
That's it, yeah.
And they tell you, hey, we're going to throw our very first rave.
Yeah.
This is it. Our very first rave in the history of our planet. You're going to be the person that's going to play the music for it. What are you playing?
Damn, that question really is out of this world. So.
literally.
Well, so I would play, like, I would honestly just go by the eras. I would honestly just go by disco first. I mean, I can go back to the 40s and 50s, but we're talking about a party rager. I want to start with disco and kind of work my way into some house. Kind of go into some Spanish. Kind of go with where I come from. You know what I mean? Show like the Spanish side, whether it's just like Latin house, things like that. I'm really about the percussion. So anything that's gonna do with house, disco. Honestly, anything that's like 128, the high BPMs, definitely want to start there and then kind of bring it low and then bring it slow up and kind of just ride the wave.
Ride the wave. I like that for sure. Okay. So disco, bass house. Wait, did you say house or bass house?
No, I said disco and Latin house.
Latin
house or just house music in general. I mean, there's so many genres. So,
bro, okay. First and foremost, I'm Mexican, so this is gonna sound super biased, but I promise you, I'm not being biased. There's something about Latin music that just hits different, bro. There's just something about it, like just adding a little bit of a Latin beat, a Latin flavor to it. It just goes better. Am I lying or
I mean, again, I just think it's in any song that's gonna or any any song or any piece of music that has percussions. I think that's where we kind of feel the music a little more. You know what I mean? A lot of Spanish, or I'm sorry, a lot of Latin music. I'll say has a lot of percussions. You know, like whether it's Mexican music, for sure, there's a lot of percussions in Mexican music. You know what I mean? So reggaeton, everything, Latin out, whatever it might be. So
right, bro. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's probably a negative opinion or an unpopular opinion. I think there's a lot of DJs out there who are remixing Latin to do hard house and guaracha.
Oh, okay. Yeah, guaracha's good. Yeah.
So I think they're remixing too much. I feel like it's just like they're trying, like they're grabbing Jose and creating a remix.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like it's too much, man. Like I feel leave that song alone. Do you agree with me, or you think everything should be remixed?
I don't think everything should be remixed, but I think everything should make sense. I think everything should be storytelling in its own way. So whatever you're planning for your set to be, let it tell the story that you want it to be. You know what I mean? So if someone's gonna use a bunch of remixes of, like, I don't know, it could be Soulja Boy, it could be R. Kelly, you know what I mean, all types of names, right? I could throw out so many popular names, right? The reason why I think that happens a lot is just because people will kind of be like, oh, I know these lyrics, you know? So if they can relate to it, then I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. Obviously, some people are going to have their opinions like, oh, well, it's killing the genre, this and that. But remixing and all types of things like that have been around for a long time. So, beat making and things like that have been around for a long time. So.
I like that you said it has to make sense. And I agree with you. So I'm big on authenticity. I'm really big on, like, hey, if you did it because you're really trying to do something new, or you're trying to figure something out, right? And you're trying to put something together, by all means, go for it. But if you're doing it just to put music out, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna grab Chente song, and it's a freaking, it's a song for shots, right? So you're crying for it. Well, actually, no. I've heard some pretty cool remixes.
Well, I'll say this. Okay, look. I'll say this. If I'm playing like a Chente song, right? If I'm playing something like that, I'm gonna play that song at a backyard party. You know what I mean? Or where, like I said, it's gonna make sense for the crowd of people that's in front of you, and it honestly just falls on your crowd control and reading the room, right?
Yeah.
If you don't read the room, then you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna play like a remix of it if those people want to hear the original version, which has happened. It has happened before. I've had people come up to me and be like, "Hey, I don't like this version. Can you play this one?" Blah 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 blah. And then I gotta kind of like mix in and out real fast. But again, it's about reading the room. So someone can come up to you and tell you, "Hey, I don't like this and that." But you control the room. You control the vibe. If you're gonna play it and one person's coming up to you and thousands of other people are still dancing, or hundreds of people are still dancing, that one person's not gonna affect me. Right. But I'll do my best to know that for the next time. You know what I mean? So
I think you're right. I think I'm being a little bit of a snob, which is fine. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
But I being a snob, I'll say it like, I want it to be authentic, right? I don't want people to just remake something for the heck of it, for the likes, for the popularity. Like, I want it to be authentic. I want it to make sense. And if it blows up because it makes sense, I just want it to make sense. You know, I hate the whole money grab, right? Like, I hate the whole, hey, I'm going to remix a version of, I don't know, Coldplay, Maná.
Yeah.
One of their songs, just because, like, I want the money grab, and I don't know, I'm just not about that. Like, I want it to make sense. So I like that you said that. I understand I'm being a little bit of a snob, so I get it.
It's the old school in him.
Hey, yeah, leave my songs alone, damn it.
I'll say this though, like, there are some hip hop songs that are, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but there are some hip hop songs that kind of have that nowadays. You know, they kind of just grab something from, or I guess, you know, in general, it's just been going on. But there are some hip hop songs. Again, just can't think about it right now. Kind of taking like a sample and then putting it into their own thing. You know what I mean? But it's been done for a long time. I mean, Will Smith and Future. That
is 100% true. But they make it sound fresh.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the producers. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it goes back to the producers.
They make it sound new. It's not like it's not just a money grab. Like, I saw a video and it showed Dr. Dre's. Oh my God, what is that one? They play all the time. Oh my God, it's not the next episode, bro. It's in the Chronic 2000, I think. It's the one they play on the piano all the time. You know.
I can't think about. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Still DRE.
Still DRE.
Still DRE. Okay.
Still DRE. That one. And I heard where it came from, and it was like this Arabic, like, dude, it was like insane. Like, they put it on, I think it was on TikTok. Like, I heard where it came from. It's like, dude, that's authentic.
Well, that's what makes a great producer. Exactly, authenticity. Timbaland, Pharrell. I mean, you can go as far as the DJs. I mean, to me, in my opinion, DJs are basically the producers. You know what I mean? And I guess you can say sound design. A lot of it has to do with mixing around with the synths and highs and lows and just kind of messing around with. You can literally make a beat off of one snare. So,
yeah, bro.
You know, so there's a lot of craziness you can do. So I consider that more sound designing, and it is production. So.
You're right. It's like taking something and making it sound completely different, and
exactly.
And then you hear where it comes from, and you're like, yeah, I hear it, and I see how you changed it and made it your own, and I think that's the beauty of it. I think that's real production. I think that's not a money grab. I think that's not a like, hey, I'm just trying to put remixes out there. Like, no, I'm actually trying to do something, you know, like because you're right. You're right. You're 100% right. It's everyone does it. It's what's it called? Oh my God, resampling or sampling? It's called sampling.
Sampling.
Sampling. Everyone does it, and it's fine if you're doing it the right way. I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's again, it has to make sense, and in the moment, you know, if I'm feeling like I want to play. Actually, I was telling Don about this the other day. There was Esther Dean, Drop It Low Girl. I wanted to find a reggaeton version of it. I never found one, so I was like, I'll make it. So then I did that. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to make sense within my mix. And again, I have it somewhere on my laptop. But so I have that, and like I said, it's just making it in the moment. So.
Yeah, and you like thought about it like, oh, this is gonna be a great addition to my crates,
to the crates,
mix, so I'm gonna make it myself,
and then other people can have it, and they can play it, and they can put it at work, you know, wherever it works. It makes sense. So.
And that's the other part that I'll step back a little bit from the snob part. It's you're right?
Yeah.
You never know who's gonna use it.
Exactly.
You never know who's gonna use it. So I totally get that. And I'm sure I've used a bunch of remixes, right? So no, I totally get that.
I mean, even when the song is remixed or resampled, it's still giving, to me, it's giving homage to the original owner of it. You know what I mean? So whether it's the producer or the singer or the people behind the scenes, it gives them their shine still, and it gives that song longevity. You know what I mean? You know, so if the newer generation doesn't know like a Michael Jackson song, they hear it in a remix, they're probably gonna think and wonder like, oh, I want to go back to hearing Thriller. I want to hear the original version. And then now Michael Jackson gets, you know, he gets his plays, he gets his props, and next thing you know, the whole album gets heard. So
bro. Okay, talking about that, so I'm so glad you brought that up, because this brings me up to a question. How do you feel about all the lawsuits?
The lawsuits are interesting. With what happened to Flo Rida recently, for example, I mean, if you're able to prove it and, you know, use it in certain ways, certain directions, then, you know, you can get away with it, I guess, you know. But if you got good lawyers, then the lawyers are going to help too, you know. So I think if you're able to, I mean, if the lawyers, I guess you can say, quote unquote, the lawyers, or even if the artists themselves, the producers, the producer's just producing it, right? And then the artists and other people have to approve it and be like, okay, we can get this out there and feel like, okay, we're going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen. Down the line, something happens. That happened to Robin Thicke, right, with him and Pharrell.
Yep.
So, and then that happened, right? And then when you kind of look back at it, that's like a different way of resampling. A lot of it had to do with just the... what's his name? What's the name of the...
Marvin Gaye?
Marvin Gaye.
The family. It was a family.
Correct. Yeah. So you can... I mean, I played at parties all the time. I play Marvin Gaye, and then I play the Robin Thicke song, like one or the other, before, after. And you can hear it clearly. You know, so...
But I enjoy not Robin. It was Robin Thicke? No. Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran? Which song? Ed Sheeran.
I forgot. It was around the same day. But Ed Sheeran also got sued.
I don't know about that one yet.
For something similar. But he said,
I think I know what you're talking about.
I just played the chords. And they sound similar.
So the power of the chords is the moneymaker, right? The chords are the moneymaker. That's something that they teach you in school. So.
And you can't copyright chords.
But you play the same chords all the time. I mean, there's a video out there called The Four Chords. I don't know if you ever heard about it. Yeah. So if you guys haven't heard, there's a video called The Four Chords. So many shout outs today. I don't know what they're called, but just look up The Four Chords. And there's so many songs that are under those same four chords. You know, Lady Gaga does it, Bruno Mars does it, Ariana Grande does it. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
How do you sue?
So, it's just the way that they make the beat, right? It's just the way that it's produced. They kind of just use whatever that, the template, right? Use the template, kind of like Word documents, you know, use the template there, and then you just copy and paste it, you know? So.
And that's what I'm saying. How do you sue? How do you sue? Because it's just unfair. Like, chords are for everybody. Like, music is for everybody. It's just so hard, man. I feel like if you're copying it, like, a beat for beat, and then lyric for lyric, like you're just coming up with like a same type of lyric, then that's fair to sue. But if you're just inspired by a song, man, like, I don't know.
I think if you're inspired, okay, so there's a song with Too Short and Saweetie, right? So Too Short has what is it? Blow the Whistle, right?
Blow the Whistle.
That's the original. And then Saweetie has Tap In, right? Tap In. Literally everything's basically the same on that beat, but you gotta get approval. You gotta get approval. You gotta get approval, and then it depends how long that song has been created for. So you can basically own the right to the song or use the song in a certain amount of in an X amount of years. I don't remember right now what it is. Kind of like the whole Mickey thing, right? So Mickey is now like free to use because now it's been whatever amount of years. You know what I mean? So you can use songs from like the 50s and the 60s, which is why they get sampled the most. You know
on movies,
movies, freaking, even music today. You know, there's certain snares and hi-hats. Like, I watched a lot of those videos where they kind of like take it apart. Like Daft Punk. Daft Punk, they take a lot of different songs, put it together, and then, you know, you get hits. You know? So. Yeah. But I'm sure it's not like the first song they make is like, oh yeah, that's a hit. It's just you keep going and going. You can have hundreds and thousands of songs, and out of those hundreds and thousands, you're probably gonna have, you know, like 5% of that to really actually hit. Right. You know, so you know, and it just depends how the artist wants to take upon the responsibility of marketing the song with their team or however they go about it. So.
No, absolutely, man. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I'm not in favor of the lawsuits. Like I said, if you're copying it word for word, beat for beat, lyrics for lyrics, then okay, I understand. Like, hey, you made this lyric sound exactly the same as, you know, whatever, right? And then you didn't ask for permission. That's the other part.
Yeah, if you don't ask for permission, there's the problem. Like, you gotta give props to who did it first, and then, you know, it's kind of like respecting your ancestors, right? You know, you don't want to disrespect grandparents, people who brought you into this life, things like that, you know. So it kind of goes back to that. They brought that song to life, right? The artists, the producers, the engineers, you know, everybody, the agents, so on and so forth, you know. So there's a whole lot of people behind this.
100%, man. I agree. Okay, so I have 2 questions for you.
Sure.
Hold on. Randy, how much time we got left? 60 minutes? Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
okay,
perfect timing.
These are the two perfect questions for that time amount. Number one question: what advice would you give to DJs who are starting out? Second question, and we'll break it up, is what advice would you give to producers that are starting out? So first question
for DJs. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say for DJs, if you're just starting out, take your time. You don't need to be freaking these big old DJs that play EDC. And figure out your beat matching. Figure out what sets you want to use. Figure out how you want to story tell, right? Don't just play one song and then kind of just play something else. Kind of make it make sense, right? You want to know how the storytelling is going to be. Paint that picture for your audience, right? You want people to remember you for who you are, what you're doing, and creating those moments. So with DJing, you gotta just go with that. Kind of going back to the fortune cookie, right? You gotta have that patience and dedication and things like that. So
now to add to that, I'm gonna add a question to that. Most DJs do get inspired by looking at the DJs at EDC, Tomorrowland, all the big festivals. What do you say to them? Like,
so I'll say this. That's essentially how I started. I went to EDC. I did a lot of raving between 2010 to 2013. I would say even 15. I went to EDC 2013, and honestly, I used a lot of that as school for me. Okay. Because you're paying, a lot less to go to see an artist play. Like for me, it was Dylan Francis. I was really infatuated with seeing Dylan Francis.
Same. I love
him, Skrillex, of course, and then I remember seeing Skrillex and Diplo where they were Jack Hugh, and I remember seeing that too. So like I said, a lot of that was just soaking it in as a sponge. Again, I used EDC, Hard Summer, any event that I've seen other DJs, even you know what I mean? Any DJ, I kind of learned to see, how they're scratching, how they're doing certain things, how they interact with the crowd. Steve Aoki, right? He throws the cake, things like that.
Yeah.
But he's a dope-ass DJ, too. He's very interactive with the crowd. So, crowd interaction is one thing. Dylan Francis, to me, is just really funny. He likes to play with the crowd, likes to, play with the emotions, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, to me, the DJing aspect is just have patience and always have fun. Have fun doing what you're doing. Don't make it feel like a job. It's quote unquote the job, but your patience will show. And then once you really show that patience, then people will start seeing where you're coming from. I always have a lot of people coming up to me after that last couple gigs literally have been like, hey, can you stay another hour? Can you stay another hour? And yeah, because it's the vibe. You know what I mean? You gotta, the reason you're the DJ is because you're setting the vibe, you're setting the tone right then and there. And again, if you're not getting that, that's okay. It's going to happen. You're going to have crowds where they don't vibe. You're going to have crowds that say yes, no, this and that, agree and disagree. But remember that you are still in the moment and you got to create that for yourself. So if you're not believing in yourself as the DJ, then how are you going to see yourself down the road? You know what I mean? So
100%, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And talking about EDC, can you believe some people go to EDC? This is an inside joke. Can you believe some people go to EDC to watch their favorite artist, and they get so drunk they don't even watch your favorite artist, bro? Can you believe it? Oh,
I've seen it happen. I've never been a victim of that, to be honest, but I'm sure some of you guys out there, I'm sure have. Damn. Pew pew, shots fired. But I mean, it might be him. I don't know. It sounds like he did that, so I don't know. This is tequila. This is the tequila man right here. So
hey, why you gotta do me like that, man?
But yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've been at EDC, and honestly, it's more of the moment and chance to go DJ there. I have a lot of people just asking me like, hey, when are you gonna go there? You're gonna DJ there? I'm like, I don't know if I have to submit a mix or whatever that is. Whatever I got to do, I definitely want to do it, even if it's like the little boombox. I think they got the little boombox there too.
Yeah, the carts.
The little boombox cart. Yeah. Even if it's that, I'd be grateful for whatever that can bring, whether it is with Insomniac, wherever that is. You know.
Hey, as a company, we're getting closer and closer, bro. Hey. we'll share the news when the time comes, but we're getting closer and closer.
No, but yeah, it's just about being in the moment with the people that are there with you, and then just again just creating that moment. So yeah,
absolutely, man. Yeah, 100%. All right, so now besides my inside joke here at the office, big shout out Randy. What advice do you give to producers?
So for producers, I would say it's the same thing. You gotta have patience for just about anything and everything, right? I mean, whether you're at work, you're stuck on the 405 or the 101 or the 5, you know how it is in LA. You just gotta have patience, and if you're not seeing the results you want soon, then figure out what it is. Maybe move a little different. Maybe move from certain people that aren't moving the same way as you. And if you're not seeing the results that are being captivated by each day that you're trying to work on it, then maybe you guys gotta move on. Yeah. And that's not something wrong, and nor is it a bad thing to do. You're gonna there are people that come and go, and they come in your life for those reasons, for lessons, and that's the beauty about life. Life is about lessons, and whether those people work out for you or not, it just shows you like, hey, you know what, this person was good for me for this moment, for whatever it is. And then you learn from that, you bring that experience to something else and someone else. And you just kind of grow from there. So
absolutely, man. So,
but I'm sorry. So, just for producers, I would just say again, just going back to it, it's just about patience, and just create your brand. It's really just about your brand. So, I personally don't mind mentioning, kind of going back earlier, that I don't mind having different types of music, because you shouldn't just be enclosed to one genre unless that is what you want to do. Then by all means do it. If you want to just do hip hop and things like that, by all means, if you want to be a Switch Army knife and do all types of music, then do that too. And yeah, like I said, just brand yourself out, make your connections, go to clubs, go out to places, find out who's with certain people, who's bringing the people in there, who are the artists, who's the club owner, things like that, you know. Step into certain places and just kind of do your research online too. Go on Instagram too. Honestly, Instagram, you can find certain people. You can even go on Splice. I mean, I didn't mention this earlier, but that's how I met Sasha Riz. So met her through Splice. I was using one of her samples. It said there, hey, you gotta contact this person, and she was just like, yeah, you can use it. So yeah. So again, kind of going back to your authenticity. You know what I mean? So it was because of Splice that I know Sasha, and then there's other people that I've known even before that. So it's just cool. Again, just grow your brand, reach out, be patient, and the results will eventually show and follow. So. Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Sasha, super dope person.
Super dope. She's super dope,
bro. She came out to the drip events. Mm-hmm. My goodness, bro! Like, wow, I was so amazed. I didn't know her before that. I think I had gone to one of your shows and she was there. Like 2 of them. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really like pay attention. Mm-hmm. But at the drip with all the stories, wow, bro, she's really talented.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard of the drip events, they are a swap meet. So by all means, they're
night
more
market.
Like sorry, not swap meet, night market. My bad. Anyways, they're a night market, and you know we're there to DJ every once in a while, and you know once in a while we're there. You'll definitely look at the post on the famous DJ page or for myself. And
are you gonna make the next one? And the one in downtown LA?
I think so. If I'm not booked,
I think it's on the 22nd.
I'll have to double check on that one for sure. But yeah, I mean, my goal and my plan is to bring in an artist every once in a while and kind of like show the talents, things like that. Yeah. Sasha was good. I mean, she wasn't good. She was amazing at what she did. But what was good about it was that she got fans. She had people come up to her and be like, Absolutely. "Oh my God," take pictures and. We were talking about it after, and she was just like, "Yo, I have any fans and this and that." And it was nice to get the pictures. So
100%.
And again, that's the moment being created. You know what I mean? That's something that like even with yourself, like it's through Famous, it's through me, and it's just like that's the moment created for Famous, for myself, and for Sasha, and for everyone else that was there. So
100%, bro. 100%. But big shout out to her, man. You're
Sasha
very talented.
Wrist, like your wrist.
That's her Instagram handle.
You can find her on Spotify like that, Sasha Wrist.
Okay. Super dope. All right, so I always gotta have a food question added to this podcast.
Yes, let's go. I love food.
I think I've done it on every podcast, but if I haven't, I'm starting it now.
All right.
Every podcast, food question. What's your favorite dish, man?
There's so many. Damn, that's probably the hardest question you've asked me this whole time.
It's a Mexican dish, huh?
That's not at all, actually.
It's the priest at my church. He always says, "I might be German, but my stomach is Mexican."
Okay, look. So background: Salvadorian and Puerto Rican. All right. So pupusas are always gonna be here.
Oh, pupusas
are always here.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? For the Salvies, I got you right here all the time. Yeah. Pupusas, all that good stuff is right here. But in my stomach, it's gotta be ramen and sushi, bro.
Oh.
So yeah, ramen and sushi for the dub. Randy, yes, I know. Ramen and freaking sushi is so good. So
dude, I don't think I've had ramen in a restaurant like that. So we gotta go one day.
I'll tell you right now, my girlfriend is a huge fan of having some freaking spicy ramen, and I've had her bowls before, and I don't know how she does it. So I don't like it too spicy. I like to enjoy my food. I like to indulge what I'm having. I don't want to have a freaking war. It feels like a WWE match with it, and I'm losing the fight because later on it's not gonna look good. But so ramen. I would say ramen and sushi are like right there, but I think ramen's right there. I think that's like the one thing I'm there the most. So
for the longest time, bro, I'm not even lying to you. I'm not. Legit, I'm being serious. I didn't like sushi because I didn't like the concept of it being raw fish that you're putting into your body. It sounded disgusting to me. It really did. And then I tried it. And bro, this is when I was like...
Hold on, what was your first roll though? Do you remember what the first roll was?
Oh, man. Oh, you know what? It was the volcano roll.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Volcano with avocado.
That's a good one. It's a good one to start with. Yeah,
dude, it was so good. It was delicious, and I'm never going back. I'm never going back. But I did think it was disgusting to put raw fish into your mouth. I was like, why do people do this? But then I started thinking, right? You do medium rare with steak.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it can't be much different with fish.
Look, there's all types of things that people put in their mouth that shouldn't be there, and it's still there. So I'm just saying, if you know, you know. But I'm just saying,
It was, bro, sushi. Big, yeah. I freaking love sushi. So yeah.
So what's yours? Is it sushi or what's like your favorite?
My favorite dish?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh man. The when the host gets asked the question, dun dun dun. Oh man, dude, that's a tough question. I love Mexican food. I
can't go wrong with that, honestly. Yeah.
Dude, I just freaking love Mexican food. But I will say that my ultimate favorite dish of all time, it's not Mexican.
Oh.
No, it's lasagna.
Oh, see, lasagna is good. Italian food is good too, man.
But I'll say this much: it's the way that my mom makes the lasagna. It's the way my mom makes the lasagna. It's not like if I go to a restaurant. If I go to a restaurant and I eat lasagna, it's never the same as my mom's. So I don't know. They say that there's been studies about how like nobody could match mom's cooking.
Oh, well, for me, it's my grandma. My grandma literally cooks all the good stuff. So
okay,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So if you have like one of your grandma's dishes and you try it somewhere else, doesn't
it wouldn't taste. Her pan con pavo is unmatched. Pan con pavo. Her rice and beans unmatched, chickens unmatched. I mean, just grandma's cooking just hits different. So yeah, uncomparable, literally.
Yeah, so I think it's the same concept. Yeah, my mom's lasagna. Big shout out to my mom. I love you. Thank you so much for always making lasagna on my birthday. Lasagna. Hey. But 100% it'll be my mom's lasagna.
Lasagna's fire. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay, so we're running out of time. Mr. Loudahh, DJ Loudahh. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Time flies, right?
Yeah.
Dude, what time is it?
10:01.
Yeah, no, we're out of time.
Literally.
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
Super
so much.
Super dope.
I do have to give a big shout out to my sponsors, if you don't
mind.
By
all means, do it.
So we're gonna do that one more time. I want to say thank you so much to Orbit Event Rentals for allowing us to be here in this space, allowing us to do this podcast. If you need canopies, tables, chairs, linens. If you want to rent a commercial refrigerator, I'm serious, bro. Orbit Event Rentals, they got your back. OrbitEventRentals.com. Check them out.
You said a commercial refrigerator?
Yeah, bro. Commercial refrigerator, commercial kitchen. They got you. Yeah, for
That's crazy. Literally Orbit. Literally, like they got everything
under the globe.
Under the globe.
Yeah. Big shout out to Montlake Construction. MontlakeConstruction.com. That's if you want home renovations, kitchen remodels, I was about to say it again. Bathroom remodels, anything to do with your home, roofing. They do beautiful work, and the thing I love about them is that they're freaking perfectionists. Most people hate perfectionists. I do not. I only like working with perfectionists. So, MontlakeConstruction.com, they are the people that they look at every detail. Check them out, MontlakeConstruction.com. And last but not least, I gotta say thank you to the Empress LA for sponsoring the show. The EmpressLA.com. They work on aesthetics. So if you want to get rid of the wrinkles in your eyes, if you want to put fillers in your lips, if you want to make yourself look more beautiful, they got you over at the Empress LA. The other thing they do, which I think that I'm going to release this information. The owner is probably going to get mad at me for doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways. They're releasing a new product called the After the Afters. The After the Afters.
What am I listening to?
Yeah, bro. So this is an IV drip with all of the energy, all of the vitamins to make you feel good after you DJ, after you party.
Interesting.
They got you on the IV drip. They'll put all of the vitamins, all of the energy to make sure that you feel good and you don't get the hangover and you're ready for the next day. After the Afters. Check them out, theempressla.com. We're going to go ahead and get it started. We got a mix coming up right now with DJ Loudahh. Bro, thank you so much, man.
Yes,
I really appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir. It's been nice. It's been real nice being here.
Let's get it going.
Yes, sir. And then just quick shout out, a couple things coming up real fast. So 4th of July, do not miss the famous takeover 4th of July. I'm going to be kicking it off at 12 p.m. How many DJs are there?
Bro, there's 12 DJs. 12 DJs.
12 DJs for every hour. So from 12 to 12.
Yep.
If you miss me,
you're gonna have 11 other people to listen to, each one with their own unique style and their own just whatever they got to bring to the table. So I'm gonna be kicking it off 4th of July. That's gonna be coming up in pretty soon. Next month.
Like 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're already like halfway through June. It's
yeah, bro.
You know.
All right.
But yeah.
Loudahh, let's kick it off.
Let's get it.